Today's chiropractic practices are not the practices of our parents or our grandparents many years ago. Today's practices do so much more than just adjust the skeletal system. We're going to be meeting with entrepreneur Dr. Voitenko from Voitenko Wellness, where she's going to talk about what she does in her chiropractic and how the changes over the last 10 years. We're going to go in now and meet with Dr. Amber. Hi, Dr. Amber. How are you doing?
So good to see you.
Nice seeing you again.
Yes.
Dr. Amber, welcome to Insights with Entrepreneurs.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, I've known Dr. Amber for I think about 10 years now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're part of the same business networking group.
Yeah.
Over the years, we've gotten to know each other. You've been on my other show several times, but I'm anxious to, talk about how you got started. I know that you graduated.
Yes, thank goodness.
25 years ago.
Time flies when you're having fun.
With the University of
Southern California University of Health Sciences.
Sounds very impressive.
Yes.
I know you worked in other chiropractor offices.
This is actually my second practice that I've owned. Technically my third, because I did have a practice that I started actually with a business name and everything, where I was going to people's homes. And then I bought my first practice, and then I built this practice. So technically 3 businesses I've owned in chiropractic.
Well, very good.
Yeah.
Well, you've been in this almost for 20 years, since 2009.
Yep.
And I remember I've watched you grow.
Yes.
Over the last 10 years.
Yep.
Your office keeps getting bigger.
Yeah. First it was just 2 of us, and now there's 8 of us. So I've got a great team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have another chiropractor on staff.
Yep. My associate doctor, she's amazing, Dr. Taylor Garcia.
Right, and I hear, all the different things that you're doing when you get up and do your presentations at our business networking.
Yep.
So let's start, you started out with chiropractic. I know you've done dietary.
Yep.
Okay.
So I started out doing just straight chiropractic, working mainly with individuals with sports injury. That was my background. You have this idea of the type of individuals you're going to treat, right? My practices, all of them actually evolved more into helping with family practice.
But I've seen you go into other aspects of it too, and you're still going into different aspects.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of those different aspects that you offer here at your practice.
Yeah, sure. So in my field, due to insurance is actually and just even what people are looking for. So just as a businesswoman, I had to really make a decision of, am I going to do cash practice? Am I going to try to work in the insurance side of things? How that's all going to go. But the reason I bring it up is because when you're helping someone, it really doesn't have to do with how they're going to pay or how we're going to come up with that aspect. It's really about being with them and figuring out, is this something that we can actually help them with, right? Yeah. The reason I bring this up is because when you're in practice in chiropractic, we are human body mechanics. We help people, like I said, everything from sprains, strains to major injuries. I mean, we help people who've had concussions. We help individuals with headaches. We even are able to help increase optimum wellness and movement and neurological support, even from people who've had surgeries, right? Because the spine is a chain link. So even if they've had low back surgery, let's say, or knee surgery, we can work on the other aspects of their body to help them improve. So that being said, we have the chiropractic side. And with that, we do a lot of different types of, we call them modalities. So we use a technique with vibration, which is very innovative, specific frequency that helps with scar tissue, helps to relax musculature, helps to heal. One of the other therapies that we brought into the practice is the neurolight therapy, which you've heard me talk a lot about. This helps with stimulating collagen. It helps with healing, helps with pain because it decreases inflammation. So we use this a lot for a specific demographic that we treat, which is individuals that have burning numbness, tingling. They get this because maybe they're diabetic, or maybe they've been on cholesterol meds, or maybe they've had chemotherapy, right? So we use that neurolight therapy to help them heal. And it's a very exciting, non-invasive type treatment that we use here at the clinic for those particular individuals. Though Neurolight, using red light or infrared is so good for so many things, right? Shoulders, elbows, golfer's elbow, frozen shoulder. So those are some of the things that we've evolved in, I guess you should say, with the type of therapies that we use.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you do so much. I see people come in here with therapy for their feet.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, if I look around in the room that we're in, I know there's something for the feet.
Yes, there's
right.
2 things actually that we use. Well, really technically 3. So there's the Neurolight that I'm discussing, right? Which we put on people's feet, extremities, and back. We do 2 therapies. One of them is actually like, it's a frequency therapy that the best way to describe it is, when nerves aren't functioning properly, they're kind of yelling at each other. They're in an argument. It's not going from the body part to the brain correctly.
Okay.
This particular frequency helps to rejuvenate and basically bring back function of the nerves themselves. So I describe it like 2 people in an argument. The further away you are, you can stay in that argument, but the closer you get, it's really hard to argue.
Is that what happened with diabetics when they start to get the tingling in their feet? And
it totally. But it can happen, Janice, like even when you've had trauma, right? Or you've been cut into, let's say you've had surgery. Nerves can have that dysfunction. You've heard me say this term in chiropractic, though. It's misalignment, which the term is subluxation. So when somebody has subluxation, they have nerve dysfunction. Sometimes, though, people have this nerve dysfunction to such a greater extent. So this frequency therapy is fantastic for that. And their feet are in water, and they're separate. They're in 2 different, not buckets, it's the same bucket, but they're separated. Then we have the detox foot baths, which I know you've used before.
No, I have never used it. I've never used it, but I know people that have come over here and they've used it.
Yeah, those are great too. That's a different type of therapy that we do here in the sense of, being in functional wellness and nutrition. There's 82,000 toxins in our environment, so it's so cool to do something that you can actually get rid of heavy metals, inflammation. You can alkaline your body, for up to 2 days. Everyone drinking the alkaline water now.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big alkaline water drinker.
Yes, you are. Same. We're the same that way. We even have a machine, but this is like a therapy patients can come and get. Even if they don't have the actual, machine at home. Those are very, very neat therapies that we offer here. And why that's important, like as a, somebody who's helping someone, is you have to have options to help people with their ailments to get them as healthy as possible. So I really do a lot of research on, everything from the Neurolight, lasers to biofeedback, type frequency machines. Well, I've been talking about the shockwave.
The shockwave, yes. We'll talk about the shockwave.
Okay, I'll talk about it. So shockwave is sound wave therapy, and it's an intense therapy. Most of our therapies here are very gentle. Even the passive therapies are very gentle. And then on the table, it's communicative, right? You're talking with myself and Dr. Taylor about that feels good, or, that I don't particularly like that way that you do that. It's more of that. Shockwave, though, happens to be one of those therapies where in some areas it's very comfortable, but in most it can be discomforting when you get it, but it's done for a short period of time.
My question is, what is it actually doing? Why are you using it?
Why are you even doing it, right? Yeah. Or why to do it? So when somebody has like tendinitis, meaning in the last 3 months they have a frozen shoulder, or they have tennis elbow, or they have plantar fasciitis, right? This breaks up the scar tissue and adhesions.
Okay.
And it can help the body basically then go in and protect itself and heal. So something like plantar fasciitis, chiropractically with doing muscle stripping and different taping and things we do with lasers would take us, Janice, anywhere from 12 to, let's say, 36 visits, which could be a year's time to help them get rid of that. Now with shockwave, you're looking at 6 to 8 visits. So it speeds up the process of handling tendinitis, tendinosis. Just so everybody knows, tendinosis is something that is like tendinitis, but you've had it longer than 3 months. But it can help with all other things that are musculoskeletal. So frozen shoulders, you know how we're talking about the neck?
Well, yes.
Or we had been talking about the neck. The neck is an area that, can get a lot of adhesions, a lot of decreased range of motion, especially if you have arthritis. So shockwave is great for the neck, the low back. So very, very effective. Great success with shockwave. So that's also another innovative therapy we use.
So I would use it like I had surgery on my knee 40 some years ago.
Right.
And then a couple years ago, I had another surgery on the same knee But the old scar, the original scar,
Right.
is playing havoc with me constantly.
Right.
So would I use that shock therapy for that?
Yeah, so shock wave is a very easy way to help heal the area once you've had surgeries or a surgery. So
we're going to have to talk.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's very effective. In fact, we've had several patients that have had low back surgery, knee surgery, and believe it or not, a shoulder replacement. So this treatment, though it can be intense, it's such a short period of time. And then what you do is you do the series of the 6 to 8 visits, and then you go in with the neurolight to help heal the tissue. So there's 2 things we do with it, especially for people who've had surgeries like yourself. Instead of them having to go back in a few years and, get rid of all that scar tissue and such, you want to heal the body. So you're preventing that from happening, if possible. Yeah.
Well, for me, it was like I told them, I don't want to go back. You're just going to build more scar tissue.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
No, I get it. It's hard when you've already had a surgery, and then you have to obviously have the other surgery. They needed to clean it up.
Yeah.
And, the old scar tissue is still sitting there. That's not what's actually being fixed. So I get where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah.
So doing things like shockwave, doing muscle stripping, doing neurolight therapy are so effective for the healing of that, for sure.
So what else are you into? I know you talk about so many different things. I hear you get up and talk.
So one of the exciting things that we started this year, though we haven't accomplished it yet, we're coming into our last quarter, but we're still in the works of it, is becoming an integrated practice, which means you basically have a medical doctor as well as chiropractic. So you decide on what you want to treat and what their focus is and what your focus is. So we're looking forward to doing that. Right now, though we're not integrated, we are with a doctor who comes in and does his own treatment. And he's doing things like PRP.
Well, say what PRP is. Okay.
So that's basically the technique of it, is where the practitioner draws your own blood and they basically centrifuge it. And the purpose of that is to actually get the plasma-rich platelets back into the area of concern. It's very effective because it's your own body, right? You're not putting something foreign in your body. And what that does is it helps heal that tissue in that area. So for people who, have, let's say, they don't need to go to knee surgery yet, they could be a candidate for something like this. He also does other type treatments that I won't get into because he's the expert on that. So we're always looking ahead at how we can service the community better and offer, natural approaches, handling body issues and health problems.
Now, I know one of the things you said, helping the community. I know you go out into the community a lot, talking about different subjects, hormonal treatments.
Natural approaches to balancing hormones. Yeah. So we do a lot of community outreach. We are with a nonprofit where we go out and we even go into businesses. Basically, they're short talks on how to have proper ergonomics at a workspace. Also, we do talks on balancing hormones naturally. We also talk about, how to stay fit while you sit. It's these different topics we bring to the community and businesses so that their employees can get that data and know how to prevent problems with their nervous system, their musculoskeletal system. But we also do other great things. For years and years, we are part of Relay for Life. We do a lot of things at our senior centers. We've done talks there. We've gone to even just participate in the activities that they're having there. Do a lot of no-charge chair massage and, checking blood pressure and posture, keeping the awareness of prevention rather than waiting till it's too late. So we really pride ourselves in that. And then, as you know, we get out and do a lot of networking too, which is a lot of community outreach.
Right. In the evenings, I know you're out there in different restaurants giving talks.
Yes, we do that as well. We're very big in our community, and we pride ourselves in keeping this local, where we do talks on peripheral neuropathy, which is that burning, numbness, tingling that people have in their extremities. That's one of our biggest community outreach talks at the moment. It's a very big problem. A lot of people think that they only get this condition when they're diabetic, but actually, in fact, there's over 50 ways that you can get burning, numbness, tingling. And one of them is, you probably heard of sciatica.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right? Or carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Right. That's a type of neuropathy. It's where the nerves aren't healthy. They're diseased.
I've been hearing more and more about carpal tunnel I remember my mother having carpal tunnel.
Right.
But she was in a profession that would happen.
Right.
Now I'm hearing it in people that are not in type of professions.
Yeah. You know, these days walking into the clinic, a lot of times it has to do with individuals that are on computers. A lot of the times your nervous system in your neck, the lower neck and upper back controls that. So that's why community outreach is so important, is having people understand the things that they can do in their workspace or at home. Even like we get a ton of pickleball players. This is a very big
that's
subject.
the crave right now, pickleball.
Right.
Yes.
And so we have people coming in with knee problems, shoulder problems, elbow, and carpal tunnel, believe it or not, where they have weakness or pain and they can't play, and they're very competitive individuals, and they will do anything to be able to stay on that pickleball court. So I think at times, honestly, it's been somewhat even worse than our football players coming, you know, from high school, and we have a lot of dancers, and we treat water polo. You know, there's a lot from our community that we treat young individuals, but these pickleball players, a lot of them are 55 and older. So anyway, just to note that it's intriguing, like, you know, the people who are picking up on this different sport, it's become very big.
I spoke to a relative yesterday who I know does not work out or do anything and out of shape. I was on the pickleball court, and I'm going, well, good for you. You're doing an exercise.
Totally.
But the problem is, you can also injure yourself if you're not used to doing.
And really, because I'm a human body mechanic, you know, being a chiropractor, myself and my associate and staff, we see it all the time with pickleball players. I mean, they come in with, like I said, knee. I just remembered somebody else that came in recently. It was ankle and foot. We had a gal last year with plantar fasciitis, but pickleball player, but she couldn't play like she wanted to because she was in so much pain. So we helped her. So yeah, it's they'll keep playing no matter what, but it is exciting. It's something that someone can take up and enjoy their exercise while doing it. They're feeling 21 again. They're feeling young.
They're feeling 21, but the body parts are not 21.
Yes.
Especially if you're not used to it, you don't realize how badly you can injure yourself.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter whether it's pickleball or just going to the gym.
Yeah.
Those machines, if not used correctly,
you'll injure yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, in our profession, really our profession is so amazing because really it's for prevention. It's actually to align your body, your joints, to prevent them from wearing out, right? So, you know, maintenance chiropractic and getting that muscle therapy is once to twice a month. But obviously people come in because they're in pain. And usually they already have a problem. But that's why chiropractic is so amazing, is because even if they have, you know, really bad arthritis, you can stop and slow it and protect the rest of their spine or other joints that might be compensating. So it's a really neat profession to be a part of because it has so many ways of treating the body, you know, depending on the person's problem. Nowadays, you know, doctors of all, you know, specialties really work together. That's the exciting part. I think, you know, due to social media and, you know, just what we have at our fingertips for knowledge, people are more aware of these alternative type treatments or preventative type treatments. And they're interested in that as well, right? You need to have emergency medicine. You got to have it. Our bodies need care. But prevention is where I think the awareness has really come up. It's like, you know, if you have bad posture, what do you do? If you are an athlete, how do you stay keeping your body working without having to get major surgeries in the future? If you've been in a car accident, you know, you can get care to help prevent problems later. That's the whole key. You know, when you're young and you injure yourself, you're not thinking, what is this going to feel like when I'm in my 60s or 70s?
Oh, definitely.
Right? But really bringing that awareness that you really should have that maintenance care and keep your body in good shape so you'll have longer, better quality years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can remember my mother. She was so funny. She would see athletes jumping and she would say, oh, they don't know what their knees are going to be like.
She was thinking ahead
40
for them.
years.
I know.
Because she was... Yeah. Her knees were bothering her,
I've seen swimmers, because I treat, like I was saying, water polo, but I've also treated a lot of swimmers over my 25 years, and they will get in a habit of flip turning the same way, and they end up giving themselves scoliosis because they're doing it so much in the same repetitive motion. The cool part is nowadays coaches and individuals like us chiropractors and physical therapists, massage therapists, you know, kinesiologists, you know, we're really trying to educate people on what to do to prevent things. But your mom she was smart, thinking ahead for these people.
But they weren't hearing her. But
no, I'm sure, but she knew. She knew.
But she knew, especially when you see that gymnast jump off and boom.
Land. I know. It's so true. And these days when you look up any athlete, any individual in this sense, when you do that, you realize, oh my gosh, all of these professionals have chiropractors, acupuncturists, PTs in their back pocket, because they know what they need to do, and the innovative therapies like people have in their homes. They have the neurolight therapy. They'll buy big sleeping bags that are like red light that they climb into, so yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that you can do in your home, but you also can injure yourself if you don't know how to use all that correctly.
That's true. So having a professional make sure that they're explaining the usage of these at-home care is super key.
Yeah,
we pride ourselves in that because we actually do offer home care to patients. So we're very good on, we have on our YouTube and all that to show people how to use it, because you don't want to harm yourself.
Well, that's important to put together, especially if YouTube is so popular now.
Right. It's a great place to go to get information.
Lots of information. I use it all the time. Yeah. Also, you can find us on YouTube.
Yes, yes.
Okay. But that's the information and your enthusiasm. If everybody can tell your enthusiasm for what you're doing.
Oh, I feel the same way about you. We pride ourselves in helping people.
Well, yeah.
Hard stop, period. And I love what I do, and I love the outcome of it. Correct.
Right.
Very passionate.
And you talked about at the very beginning, you talked about trying to decide if you should take insurance or not take insurance. So I wanted to touch on that because some people would want to know.
Yeah, sure. So there's insurances, of course, that cover chiropractic, but what we run into mainly, Medicare side. But even with Medicare, some of these insurances that are given, they state that they have chiropractic coverage, but their deductibles, you see, are so high. So even a $500 deductible can take someone anywhere between 7 and 12 visits before they hit that, right?
Right.
Anyway, so we've learned to work with insurances as well as doing cash discounts for individuals so that people can afford it no matter what. They can afford getting the maintenance care that they need to help prevent problems later.
I know there's different insurances out there. I was in your office earlier. Yes. I saw that, just like the dentist's office.
Yeah.
You have the care credit.
Oh, right. So as far as payment goes with the discounts, there's financial institutions. We use about 4 of them, believe it or not, because you never know if someone's going to be able to qualify.
Right.
Or if they don't, there's other financial institutions that will do it, but they do it with like an interest rate to it. But it's very minimal, like if you're paying over time for care. So there's lots of options that we have. And we have many plans. We have corrective plans, maintenance plans, get out of pain plans, whatever that person needs and wants. And everybody's different. Like, just because we might see something that needs to be corrected might not be the right time for that person to do that, but they have to do something, right? So even those smaller plans can lead to a person having better quality of life, better movement, better neurological function.
Well, I know I've met with quite a few of your clients because you have referred them to me.
Yes.
In my other businesses. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, we love Dr. Amber. We love go in there.
Nice. Yes.
They talk about you like you're part of their family.
Oh, that's so nice. I mean, we, like my team, we care so much about people and what their needs and wants are. And if we know that we can help them, we're so glad to be able to do that. But also, individuals come in that we can't help as well. And so, or they need help in other areas. And that's where you've come in when I've referred patients to you. Yeah. But we do that across the board. I mean, somebody needs MRI, somebody needs, pain management, somebody needs surgery. We have those types of doctors to refer to as well. Yeah. So we have a great network of really good people. And thank you for saying those kind words about my practice, because we do pride ourselves in, helping individuals. So
I know that some of the Medicare insurances you don't take.
Yeah.
But you do take some other stuff.
Correct. There's so many, like you say, the ABCs. Whatever, the alphabet soup.
I call it alphabet soup.
That's what you
Definitely alphabet soup.
Yes.
Well, this has been very interesting to learn more about your practice.
Thank you for interviewing me. I appreciate you.
I love
having
interviewing
me on.
you. You get a lot of information from you, a
Aw.
lot of good, positive information.
Very good.
Anybody has any comments, anything to add, anything you would like to hear? I always say we like comments. Thank you very much for being on Insights with Entrepreneurs. It's been great, and I'm going to use your services very soon, okay?
Thank you, Janice.
Thank you. Watch for Dr. Amber coming back on our show. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.